Hello everybody, this is Artie Mays, and today I'm doing a little tutorial on how I make some like washi tape for your journals and things. You know, yes, I'm lucky to own a laser printer, so I can print on vellum, which I have done here. But I think it's Tracie that has a tutorial out at the moment, and I'll put her link to the video below on how she prints on vellum. So I won't go through that because you can do it with an inkjet if you're careful, but I'm lucky enough to own a laser. So, and this is what I do, is I print on the vellum, then I turn it over. And you can do it on normal paper as well. It works exactly the same. So, which I've got one already done here. That's normal paper. So it still works the same, but it's just when you use vellum, you've got to remember that it is transparent, so you will see what's behind it. But with the white paper, you cover everything. So what I do is I usually do varying degrees of thickness of tape, double-sided tape, and I will just stick it down, and I trim after, so because I find it just quicker that way. Oh, I might have mumbled then. Yeah, I trim after, so and I just literally stick it down, little tiny weeny bit of a gap in between. That's so that you can tear it easily after. So I'll do 3 wide, because you can guarantee if you do this and it's all thin, you'll want a thick bit, you know, or vice versa. So on a page I'll do just go down varying, right, and then I'll do a few of those like that. Another one. So it's pretty quick, doesn't take long. I think the worst bit for me is taking the double-sided tape, the backing off. That all seems to take me ages. But I do it with a knife now, so I seem to. There we go. And it doesn't matter that it hasn't printed totally to the edge, because that you can trim all that when you trim this off. Right. So what I'll do, I'll just lift that up, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is all, I've lifted it up, and all you do now is you trim. I usually use Tim Holtz scissors because they've got a coating on them that stops them sticking. So instead of you watching me do all that, I shall pause again and be back when it's finished. Okay, that's all trimmed out. So you see all the double-sided tape on there. Then what I do now is I stamp over all this. So I pick some stamps out that correspond with, you know, what I'm doing. And I didn't have many steampunk. I had about 3, but I found some keys. So, and I had some die cuts, which, you know, one of those. And my sister had some keys. So what I done, I cut them out of... Okay, I've done that. I've trimmed it all off, as you can see. It's neat-ish. And then what I do, I overstamp the vellum now to make it a bit more interesting. So I didn't have actually many steampunk stamps. So I made a few out of my die cuts. My die, you know, so I ran the die through the machine with funky foam. And oh, that's one of them I had, which was here, which Allied Express, fantastic. So it was about £1 something, and it's, you know, it's fairly decent size, and it cuts beautifully. I can't fault it at all. So anyway, I cut it out of funky foam, and then I know I'm lucky to have some, you know, husband's a carpenter, so he does me some bits of wood for them to go on, you know, which is another one I've done, but. Double-sided cardboard, you know, just a bit very, you know, thicker, so that you've got a little bit to hold on to and to stamp down. So, and that's just die cuts out of funky foam, and I double them up, so they double the thickness. I cut them twice and layer them up, and then stick them on, things like that. So I've done a lot like that for my mixed media and I used to cut odd shapes out of funky foam and do, you know, things like that. So that's where that's come from, really. So anyway, so what we do now is we overstamp on here. I use Stays On, of course, because it's vellum. And also I tend to ink that after with different inks, so it's nice to have something that's going to actually stay put. The only thing I find with these stamps is they do absorb quite a lot of ink, so the impression is quite dark. So that's why you can see this mess behind you, because I just literally stamp off first and then stamp onto that. So look at that impression. That's absolutely brilliant. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I'll just randomly stamp. I don't mind if it doesn't take very well or anything like that. It doesn't matter. Always stamp off the page too. Very important, that is, because I don't know, it just happens to look better to me. Like that. That's it. So that's that one done. And let's have the keys, because I never use the keys on the other one. So when you ink these up, I tend to sort of rub over. It's lucky there. Let's just stamp off that a minute. Yeah. Let's put some keys here. There, you see, it works really well. So I'm going to get 3 impressions out of that, so that's pretty good. Right, let's have a look what else I've got. I've got one of these, which is a big sheet, which is really handy, where I do that the other way round. I usually peel it off of here. I haven't got the big acetate thing for those, so I will do that, stick it down. It seems to stick to these, and then I ink like that, and then I just literally, where I want it, I just rub along there. You see, it just picks up a bit. No, sometimes I do just odd places. Don't always want it everywhere. Yeah, that's that. And then I've got a little one, a little stamp that I like, this little ruler, so which is here. Stick that on there. I will stamp off those. I'll make sure it's the right way. That's that way. I'll randomly stamp that. And I turn my paper as well, so it's all in different positions. I do that one very lightly, and then because I know this stamp, so that's there, and then I'll fill in a bit more. Do another one of these because I've got 4 in there. 5, 6. Just like to come off the edge a little bit here. So I might go on there. There. Okay. Lovely job. Well, that's that bit done. And then I usually just give it a few minutes and wait for it to dry. And then I will ink up while that's drying. Usually a little bit vintage photo here, but it could have a bit of darker on it because I've got some like espresso, So I think I've put a little bit of espresso on that as well. So I just got to find my sponge, which is here. And I will just ink up a bit more. I'm lucky because this one's got slight sort of coffee staining on it anyway, so that's fine. And then whatever colour you want to use, and use that as well to bring your colour into your work. So I don't use a different sponge. No, I should do really, but I don't, because I'm not fussed about what happens really. That's what I find fun. I think, oh well, that didn't work. You can still use it on something. There. Put a bit more blue, because you put the blue on top of quite a yellowy colour because of the vintage photo. It tends to go like this old-fashioned green, which is really good. There we go. Let's put a little bit up there. And that's that done. That's that finished. And you can spritz it with a bit of water if you want to. I did with this one. Well, I didn't with the vellum, but I did with the paper. So I just spritzed some coffee solution on that one, on the top as well. So that was that one. And then all you do after that, if you want to, you can keep them in sheets, or you can just strip them down, and all you do, so these are all ready, is, I'll go that way so I can see what I'm doing. Gently just rip in between the tape, like so. Then you watch me, because this is terrible. I'm so bad at this. It's not having any nails, and you have to excuse, actually I haven't got my point on me. I broke it this morning. I might not be able to do it at all. There we go. So you peel that off. And just stick it down. So let's see if we can find somewhere in here to do it, because this is the journal I'm doing. So, and I'm going to put it up there. Okay. And then trim off. And what you don't use, I mean, you could measure it first so you don't overuse it, but I'll just stick it back on here. And there we go. That is some washi tape done. That will go, you know, because so really you could print any of the designs out and do it that way, and just over stamp a little bit to make it more interesting, and then do that. So I hope it's been helpful for some. Anyway, I mean it really is fun, because you never know what you're going to get as well, you know, because you buy washi tape sometimes and it is quite repetitive. Well, this way you've done it yourself, which, you know, is great, and it saves you quite a bit of money as well, because washi tape is getting expensive, because I think they all know that we want it. So there, so that's that tutorial, and exactly the same with the paper. Was that the paper one? Yeah, that was the paper one. All you do, it's a little bit heavy handed there, so I actually quite like that torn effect. So that's harder actually to rip. And okay, I'll just be a bit more careful then. Yeah, so just be careful with that one. Yeah. So I think it would be better to fold it first and then rip it, actually, looking at that. And then it'll have somewhere to rip, won't it? Yeah, that's definitely better. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, slice it all up with your trimmer, but there, yeah, definitely better. So I suggest you fold it first, like so, and then rip it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and see you again shortly. Bye bye.